My health is, I guess, okay. It's pretty much stable. So a lot of people don't know that I was diagnosed with hemochromatosis. I'm not even quite sure if I'm pronouncing that right. But basically, my body absorbs too much iron from the food I eat, so it causes things like organ failure. So the most sensitive organs is the liver, kidneys, I believe heart and brain, and basically testicles also. So, because the insurance company and everything basically says it's a terminal illness, a lot of people don't know that I go for phlebotomies, therapeutic phlebotomies, which they drain blood every month. Like a lot of people don't know, like all the crap with insurance coverages and stuff like that. Like back when I was going through all these emergency tests and stuff, like MRIs and contrasts and all that, holy crap, the insurance stopped covering everything because I got a stupid loophole that I did not know about, but like 4 months go by. Either way, I had to pay the hospital back like $150,000, but that's just a little backtrack of the beginning. My stored iron, my ferritin levels back then, before they figured out what was wrong, was up to 1,800 and some, which was causing me to feel like crap and basically slight organ failure. Maybe another time I'll go into more details of stuff like that, but yeah, it's been like 4 years now going in and getting blood drained. It used to be every week, then it like went to every 2 weeks, every month. Now I'm down to pretty much every 2 months I go and get blood drained. And the other problem I had, because the iron was so high, my body did not know what to do with all of it. My red blood cell count was extremely high. So at that time, my blood was like thick black ink. I remember like the first time getting a blood sample, they tried to take a blood sample out and the needle kept clotting up and stuff, and they were really worried about me, without trying to show it. But yeah, my blood, the red blood cell count has dropped quite a bit after all the years, constantly going through phlebotomies, finally getting the iron down low enough and keeping it low enough. My bones is not absorbing all this excess iron and overproducing red blood cells. So my red blood cell count, it's still elevated quite a bit, but it's still like normal range now. It's still good, I don't have to worry too much about that anymore. So like my ferritin level is usually around 200 now, which is still higher than normal, but that's just kind of normal with this condition. So I just keep going, get blood drained every few months. So there's other things the doctors would like to do, which could fix the problem completely. Is one is getting the gastrus bypass surgery. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It's just like weight loss surgery. So what the purpose of that is to remove 75% of my stomach or something, which will cut back on how much food I eat, which means less iron that my body can absorb. And they also want to remove, I believe, 6 feet of intestines, which will cut back on how much iron my body can absorb from the food I do eat. But that surgery is not covered because of, being diagnosed with this. Trying to get anything covered is a pain in the butt anymore. I just got some new health insurance, which should be covered. I see the stomach doctor or the gastrus doctor, I believe in July, to talk about like the procedure and what I need to do and steps for that. Also, getting the weight loss surgery will help benefit like my back problems, like herniated discs and a few other problems I have going on, sleep apnea, and like my feet absolutely kill. I believe it's called plantar fasciitis. It's something to do with the tendons in my feet. Basically, they're too tight. I'm getting bone spurs, I believe is what it's called. And so if I'm on my feet all day, oh my goodness, after I get laid down in bed, trying to get up I think having my feet cut off would be less painful, seriously. So eventually I gotta get surgery on my feet for that, the plantar fasciitis. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Of course, I got the stomach surgery they want to do if it will be covered. And while I'm at it, I would like to get my nose fixed because I had a broken nose a long time ago. So, like, I can never breathe good through my nose at all. Like, I can't even remember the last time I could breathe clearly through my nose. I'm pretty sure if I get my nose fixed, I probably would not even need the CPAP machine anymore. Just getting that crushed septum or whatever that's called fixed. And also getting the stomach surgery will also fix the stomach acid problem, like acid reflux or whatever it's called. I can't quite remember. My stomach produces too much stomach acid. So I have to take protonics, I believe is what they're called, to cut back on how much acid is in my stomach. Like, I probably need to get some stronger protonics for my stomach because like a few months ago, I didn't take my medication for like 2 days and I got like a really bad stomach ulcer. It was so painful. Oh my goodness. I almost went to the hospital again for the stomach pain. Like the first time when they found out I have all these, the blood sample and the iron and all that, that's when I got a slight stomach ulcer from the beginning. This time I had a full-on ulcer, and you do not want to know what came out the bottom end. Trust me, after going to the bathroom a few times, I got really worried. I was about to get up and go to the hospital a few months ago. But all these issues are pretty much just genetics, just bad genetics. So I happen to get one half of the gene for hemochromatosis from mom, and I guess the other half from dad. So I was able to get both genes. So like all my grandparents and stuff have heart problems and stuff, which is what they're worried about later on in life. So probably in the next 20 years, they're going to be really concerned for heart attacks and blood clots. But, I'm kind of used to it now. Like from 4 years ago, they told me I might have only 12 months left to live if they did not figure out what was wrong. So I kind of come to terms with, we live and we die, and no point of worrying how long I might have. So there's other things for hemochromatosis like a liver transplant, but that's like a very last option. So far I understand, because it's a genetic issue with the liver, there's only about a 40% successful rate for a liver transplant. And because of that, that's their last option to do that. So organ transplants and stuff like that is later down the road if I absolutely need it. But right now, just getting blood drained every 2 months is keeping the levels down consistently. And a lot of things don't help my health situation, like because I'm just in a driving truck for 14 hours a day, it doesn't help with the weight here, So that was another benefit of getting the surgery, is to actually finally be able to lose some weight. And then maybe I could get a girlfriend, but nah, that stuff is long gone. Oh man, I was just thinking about it. It's like been over 10 years since the last time I've ever been in any kind of relationship. That's a lot of it is because I'm just so scared of women, and I've talked about it in previous videos. It's not scared of women specifically, it's just more of being afraid of getting hurt again, It just was so painful, the first time, and I just don't think I could go through it again. So all I do now is just work on projects in the shop here, to keep busy. I don't have a girlfriend or kids waiting for me or anything like that. It's just go to work, come here, home, and in the shop here working on projects. And sometimes I go to truck shows on the weekends and little odds and ends, but just keeping myself busy. I do hang out with friends every once in a while, but like 99% of the time, most of my friends have their own lives. They have their own girlfriends or wives or kids and stuff like that, so they're always busy. Or I got good friends that are just so far away that it's impossible to hang out on the weekends. But usually every day after work and on the weekends, this is where you'll find me usually. Or out in the yard doing yard work and stuff, spreading dirt or cutting trees, planting or whatever. I also don't like to go out very much because I have like social anxiety, I can't stand being around lots of people for long periods of time either. And that's because of how bad I got bullied growing up, and maybe I'll talk about that in another video. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.